Welcome back. My name's Dave. This is Macaro Siding, my N-scale layout, and we're going to continue on with roads and using grout. So I'm just going to switch over to, let's see, is it going to go there? It is. Okay. There is that diagram. Now, I could not for the life of me find that thing anywhere. I don't know where I found it the first time, but I did put in the comments of the last video a location. I think it was the city of Toronto. It had all the dimensions of roads in different kinds of roads in Toronto, and I figured that would pretty much help you get started. But again, if you do a search and you go highways or road specifications or something like that, you'll get something like this. The reason I'm leaving this on here this long is so that for those of you who know how to do a screen grab, you could grab this and go ahead and use it. I guess that's probably enough time that it's been on air, so let's just go back for a second here. So I'm going to take that off and put it over here out of the way. Hopefully it's not blocking it. No, it's not blocking the other camera. No. Okay, so what do we have here? We have the two roads that I built. I did last week, and again we'll go back to 6. This one's on cork, and this one's on craft foam. And the one on the cork only took one layer, but because of the smoothness of the foam, it took 2 layers to get any kind of texture. The first layer went down as smooth as glass almost, and the second one definitely has a texture to it, which is what I want because we're going to do some weathering on these roads, and the best way to do that is if there's some texture in it. But the first thing we're going to do is put the gravel on the sides here for the shoulder of the roads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some painter's tape here. I've already masked off part of it with duct tape, and the reason I'm using duct tape is it's much thicker than this painter's tape, which is been giving me a lot of trouble recently here. I'm going to have to buy another roll or something to figure out why it's doing this all the time. It keeps not coming off in a straight. There we go. There's another piece. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taping off the edge of the road and leaving either some foam or some cork. Now, all of this is super experimental. I have never done this before, and depending on which one of these ones works, it will become the basis for all the roads inside the paper mill. So now we have a strip on each side, and I'm just rubbing down the tape to make sure it's... I'm going to check this one. I just don't know if that's right. I know that... Yeah, it is right. There we go. So now, what are we going to do for the shoulder? Well, as you know from my past videos, you know I am a big fan of going to the dollar store and finding stuff. So I'm going to just switch back and we'll talk about what I've got here. The dollar store sells gravel in containers. I'm going to switch to 7 here. In containers like this. This container cost me $2.25. This one cost me $2. I don't know why. The price must have gone up in the time between them. So you can see you get all sorts of different gravels, different colors, and you can get what they call sand, which looks like it's gravel to me. And this was $1.75. And I've got one more back here. And this is a much coarser gravel. And it also, without the label, but I know this was $1.75. So you can see, you can go to your local dollar store and hunt around, even ask them if they have what they call decorative gravel. And in fact, it's only just says jar of gravel on the label. And this is the Dollarama. This is the Canadian store. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe at least 3 more over on the shelves on the other side of where I store everything. And so what I've done, because I don't want the gravel to be, I'm just trying to find places to put things when the camera won't be interfered with. And we'll just take that out of here. Okay, where are we going to put these two? We'll put them up there. That'll be good enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix the different gravels together, and I've already done this. I mean, it's not exactly a thrilling video to watch me grind gravel, but I have over here a coffee grinder. And what I've done is I put the gravel, different colored gravels in here, and that makes fine gravel even finer. So now I've got lots of gravel here. And what we're going to do is we're going to use some basing glue. And I need a little container for this. These also are from the dollar store. They're fantastic little stainless steel bowls. And they, nice thing about them is they wash up really nice, so they're almost brand new every time you use them. So here we go. So with basing glue, and the basing glue is from World Scenics, which is a British company, and I use them for almost all of this kind of stuff. So now I'm just going to take basing glue, and put on a fairly decent layer of glue. And now we're going to take the, let's switch to 6 here. So you can see I've just put down the glue here. And now I'm just going to take this and I've also, to give it a different color, I've also got walnut shells, ground up walnut shells, which I believe is used for sandblasting, believe it or not. And I got that from Princess Auto, which is sort of like the Harbor Freight of Canada. And so now we're going to come over here and do it here. And now the brush I'm using is an acid brush. It's used for putting flux on things when you're soldering. And you can buy, our Home Hardware sells them in packs of 12. And so there's that road done. Now we're going to do the cork. So the same deal. That was not what I wanted to do, but we'll continue on. I just stuck the brush in the gravel. Oh God. There are days. So I'm drizzling this from a fairly fairly high, about 30 centimeters or so from the surface. This spreads the gravel out, and now we're going to do this here. As you can see, it's simple to do here. And once more. Now what's going to happen next week, regardless of which one of these works, is I'm going to pull the buildings off the where the roads are going to be in the paper mill, and I'm going to lay down sheets of either foam or cork. Then I'm going to put the buildings back in place and draw around the buildings, and we're going to then cut that out and then start setting up to do the roads. Now, the next thing I'm doing here is I've got some isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just putting down just so it breaks the surface tension from the gravel. And I think I've said this before about this bottle I'm using. This bottle, when you pull the trigger, it sprays, and when you let go, it sprays. So you get a nice constant, and it's a very, very fine mist. It's perfect for doing scenery like this. Now, the question is, do I leave the tape on and let everything dry, or do I pull the tape off? Well, I made the decision earlier that I was going to pull the tape off, at least from the cork. There we go. And here. I've got a little garbage can down there at the bottom. You can't see me doing it, but that's... come on, get off my fingers. All right. Now I've got a little paintbrush here with nothing on it, and this is to and you can see already that we're getting some weathering on the highway. And the same here. Let's do this one. All right. So now we have the highways clear of gravel. I'm going to leave the duct tape in place, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen, guys. Sorry, just don't. Okay, you can see that little one over there. Okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure you could. I did a little test right on the masonite that I glued everything down to here, so we can test things before we move on. So the next thing is to weather this. I'm going to make sure I put this back. Weather that, cover that. So what I have is, and again, I believe, are these dollar store? I don't know if they were. I can't remember, so long ago. Anyway, this is watercolors. This is not acrylic. This isn't the Tamiya or any of the other. This is just simply watercolor. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these watercolors to weather the highway. So I'm just going to put the paints over here. I've already got a brush out, ready to go. I've got a container of water over on the other side. I got so much stuff on this desk. It's just I'm actually gonna be buying some more shelves for down here so I don't have to do this all the time, because I'm continuously having to move stuff around. Anyway, that's just an aside. I've got a wet palette, which is meant to keep your paints wet. I'm just trying to get it open here. Didn't you know it? It's not going to come. Let me see. Ah, there's something. I just need the wet palette. It seals itself closed so tightly so your paints don't dry out. There we go. So I'm going to put my wet palette up here. And we're going to use lots of water here. We're not going to so I'm just getting the water jar over here to the side. And I'm going to wet down my brush first and see what I can do here. See if I can spread that out some more. So I'm going to grab wow, that smells. Raw umber. And I'm going to put it on the wet palette here. Wait, does that ever stink? The water's been sitting in this jar for a couple of weeks. I'm going to have to clean it out. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to test it on my little test scrap over here, because I don't want to. So okay, let's get some more water. And yeah, that's going to be all right. That's going to be all right. All right, so now we know what that one looks like. And the darker one is burnt raw umber. And this is more of a brown. And I'm going to see if I've got what's called Payne's Gray here. What's this? Oh, that's straight black. I'm just trying to dig up. Oh, it didn't come with one. I thought it normally watercolor sets come with that color. So now more water. More water. And let's see what this looks like. See, so that's. Now the reason I'm using watercolor is because it is very transparent, and hopefully I won't be making mistakes here. So let's go ahead and get started right on the highways themselves. So what did I want to? Oh, I was going to do this. Yeah, I was going to do it with this. So So the important thing here is to make sure you're using tons and tons of water. If you're not using watercolors, fine, whatever paint you use. Make sure that you're using a lot of water. Okay, we're going to pick up some of this here. We'll see what we do. Do some here. Now there is no right or wrong to this, and I'm sure wherever you live there's probably different road surfaces. I just noticed that most of our highways here, although when the asphalt is put down it's black, it doesn't take it very long to become a gray. And so just, like I say, I'm just taking and using artistic license. It's a phrase I hate, but just another way of saying don't worry about making mistakes. So you can see that we've got two tracks that are different, and the one in the middle is a little bit darker, because there's more wear in the lanes than there is in the right down the middle of the highway. So here again and I'm just using a flat brush. And I'm just trying to change the value of the road a little bit. Here, and we'll pick up some more of this. Now, by doing it with lots of water, you can lay down the color and gradually build it up to the darkness you want. You notice that when I put it on right away, it's dark, and then because I'm moving the paint around, it I wonder if that, oh, it will. Good. Let's see if that, okay, okay, so we're gonna, now you need to understand, if you're doing your whole layout like this, you probably got a couple months of work ahead of you, because every inch of the road is being hand painted. So there we go. I will be pulling the duct tape off soon, because I want you to be able to see the whole look. So it's, so again, put the paint on, come with the water. Now the real master at doing this is Boomer Dollarama. He always works mostly with Tamiya's, but he always works with so much water, and he's able to generate some very beautiful shades. All right, let's pick up some of this over here. Okay. Now I'm not gonna so you can see how I've got some variation in the surface. I'm just going to stick my brush in the water here. And now comes the moment of truth. I'm going to pull off the darn tape. So see if my labels stay in place. Where did I? Oh, there it is. There's where I put the brush. Now I'm going to let the shoulders on these roads dry. I may go back and paint in some of them, but I think it looks pretty good as a road. So I was just going to do a quick demo of these. This is the stuff from Highways and Byways, which is highwaysandbyways.net, and these are, I'm just going to see which one I can do. I did this one first, so it should be drier. And now I'm looking around. Oh, I know where it is. There it is. Just looking for my scalpel. So you pick off a strip. Okay, I've never done this before, so bear with me. Now this may not stick because this is damp, but it'll give you an idea when it's dry what it should look like. So there's, and it's not sticking. So we'll have to see what we do here. I have to put some matte medium down on the highway to hold those lines. So there's that line. And then, of course, here in North America, we have white lines along the edge of the highway. Right up against, not right at the shoulder, but just in from the shoulder. And I'm going to peel one off here. And we will, okay, that is the sticky side. And that's what I am going to have to do. I'm going to have to, that's a good thing to know. I'm going to take some matte medium and paint the surface and then lay the stripes into that surface. That will stick it down. I just want to... Oh, this is working well, isn't it? Jeez. Are these sticky on both sides? Can't be. No, that's the right side. Okay, like I say, I'm going to have to paint a strip of matte medium along here and then lay the lines into that. But it gives you a sort of an idea of what it's going to look like. Just moving this over because I did make a mark on the baseboard of where center is. So there we go. So you could see that that's going to work out really well. Let's just we'll grab the vehicle here. And so there we have the vehicle sitting on the highway. Still enough room in the lane to move around, and I think this is going to work out. So I think I'm going to use the foam because of its thickness. It gives a nicer shoulder than the cork does. Also, as I mentioned last time, the cork tears very, very easily. Like, you just have to look at it the wrong way and it tears. So we're going to call it quits there because I want to let this dry, and then I want to experiment with the matte medium in putting the lines down. And I've got an idea about doing it where I put some matte medium right here at the end and here at the end and let it dry, and then pull it tight, and then matte medium down here at the bottom and do it and let it dry. And that way I can then just dab a little bit of matte medium on the surface and see what it looks like. But I'm going to test the matte medium out here on this little test strip that I made, so that we know that works. So okay, why aren't you switching? 7. Sorry guys, I'm gonna camera 1. Okay, hang on. Camera 1. There we go. So I want to thank you for watching. I know it wasn't a thrilling video, but part of doing this this channel is to show you different ways of doing things. And so it's easier for me to do it here like this, and for me to learn how to do it first, and then take what we learned from the desk here and take it over and put it on the layout itself. So like I said, next week we're going to take this roll of foam and we're going to lay it down on the layout. We're going to take the buildings off. I'm going to mark where the buildings are first, pull the buildings off, lay this down, and then put the buildings back and draw on the foam itself so that we know where we're cutting. And we'll start building the surfaces for the roadways inside the paper mill itself. We have one area that's a parking lot for the office, one area that's the receiving area for semis in the warehouse, and then we have a road that goes to a weigh scale, and from the weigh scale it goes to the truck dumper for getting stuff off of the truck the vehicles, and then one that goes back to the road that comes into the paper mill. So I want to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I read all the comments, and I think I've answered all of them except one, and that was a personal choice of me not wanting to answer that particular person. So take care of yourself, take care of your family, and remember, always, it's your railroad and you can make it any way you want. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.